The Atlanta Braves shut out the Cleveland Guardians 2-0 behind an absolute Hurston Waldrep masterpiece on the mound. Let's talk about it.
This is the Braves Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Atlanta Braves. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into the Braves Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, where we cover your Atlanta sports teams each and every day. I'm your host, Lindsay Crosby, author of the Braves Today newsletter over at bravestoday.com. Follow me on social media at Crosby Baseball. That's Jake Mastroianni, host of Locked On Braves. Follow him on social media at shorts.ball. Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On Braves, wherever you get your podcasts. Obviously, Jake's had a ton of content this week, the mailbag from today, a lot of stuff. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your stuff. Jake, I want to talk about this 2-0 victory by Atlanta over the Cleveland Guardians. And there's a lot of stuff to get to with the offense, the Profar play at the plate, Ronald's runner interference and all that. But the story of this game is Hurston Waldrep, the mayor of Splitter City, just absolutely going out there and dominating Cleveland. 2 hits in 6 innings, no runs, 2 walks to 7 strikeouts. I think right now it's fair to say Hurston Waldrep's the best starter on this, the best healthy starter on this team.
Yeah, I mean, when he pitches, he wins right now, right? So, I mean, it's hard to argue against that. It's crazy the turnaround that he's had this season. I mean, I know I said it, and I think you were in the same boat too. That first month in AAA, I'm thinking, okay, now it's probably time to transition him to the bullpen. He was quite dreadful to begin the season at AAA. Makes a slight mechanical adjustment that seems to really help hold in his control. I won't even say command, because even in this start, as great as it was, I don't see a ton of command here, but he's able to throw his pitches in the zone, and the pitches are just so good that if he can do that, he can have outings like this and he can be an effective pitcher. So it's just crazy, just the turnaround he's had from the beginning of this season, even to where he is right now, to be doing what he's doing at the big league level. Just really impressive stuff. And I believe it's 2 starts in a row now. I don't remember quite from the Speedway game, whatever they called it, that it was splitter heavy. I mean, I think I know it's at least the second game in a row that he led with that splitter, where when we saw him making those adjustments in the minor leagues, it was mostly 4-seam slider. And now you're seeing him throw in the cutter. You're seeing him throw in the 2-seamer. He's throwing a lot of different stuff out there, moving all over the place. But again, the biggest thing for Hurston Waldrep is that he's able to throw these pitches that are moving all over the place. He's able to throw them in the zone, or at least close to the zone. And that's been the biggest thing for Hurston Waldrep, because the stuff's always been there. The splitter's always been just a devastating pitch for him. Just hasn't been able to throw enough strikes with that pitch, which he did tonight. He got J-Ram twice, one on a splitter where he froze him in the zone, another one swinging and missing. So just being able to throw those pitches in the zone has been huge for Hurston Waldrep.
Yeah. You touched on a few things I want to address real quick. One, for everybody who's not 100% down on the difference between control and command. Control is the ability to throw a strike. Command is throwing the ball where you want it in the strike zone, right? Like, if you just can't throw strikes, you don't have any control. If you're throwing strikes, but you're like painting the corners and things, that is command. Like, Greg Maddux was so great, not because he threw strikes, but where he threw his strikes. And I think in this one, I'm a cutter propagandist, like unabashed. And there was a question in the chat. Is Savant right, or did he mainly throw cutters? His primary fastball tonight was the cutter. It was the sinker last time. The big thing here for Hurston Waldrep, I'm going to pitch nerd for just a second for everybody in the chat here, is the 4-seam fastball is not good from a movement profile. It's below average on horizontal movement. It's below average on vertical movement. It's called a dead zone fastball. It does exactly what you think it's going to do out of the hand. So adding in a sinker, adding in a cutter just means that he can throw a different fastball shape, and the hitter doesn't know what it's going to do, right? You get to a fastball count. Is it going to be a 4-seam fastball that's just straight, or is it going to be something that moves one way or the other in the cutter or the sinker, right? He's just making up for having a bad 4-seam fastball by throwing these other pitches. But to your point, the biggest change, the mechanical change, and then these other fastballs, the biggest change has just been he can now get ahead of batters and put them away with the splitter. And when we both watched him early in the year, that wasn't a thing he was doing. And so he had to throw his slider in the zone a lot more. He couldn't really feature the splitter because that's by the lack of spin that it gets. And his is one of the lowest spin splitters in baseball. It's just inherently hard to control. It's hard to put into the zone. It's hard to command, but it's hard to control, period. So he was behind guys. He scored a lot of sliders and things in the zone and they'd get rocked. Now, completely different guy. Let's credit Sean Murphy. This is why you don't need to trade a veteran catcher because he can do things like this. And right now, I know you're thinking about Sale, Strider, Schwellenbach, hopefully Lopez, like some of these guys. Hurston Waldrep feels like he's going to be your number 5 next year just based on how good he's looked so far. It's early. Is it too early for me to think that? Or is it like nothing changes, this is your number 5?
Yeah, I mean, does it matter? Because you're going to need him at some point. Like, you just know at some point he's going to be in the rotation, and we'll just see how things play out in spring training. But he's definitely leapfrog. I mean, coming in, I probably had him, further on down, even behind the Bryce Elder, because that's just how little I trusted Hurston Waldrep coming into this season. And now he's certainly right in there where it wouldn't surprise me if he does crack the rotation next year, just based on the health of everybody. I mean, just stuff-wise, I think he's probably your 4th or 5th best starter, even if everybody is healthy right now. To your point, if he's throwing like this and able to, control those pitches in the zone. So it's definitely been a big change. A lot's going to determine how the season ends and how many more innings he actually gets in the season too. Does it get to a point where maybe they need to cut him off? Now, he did throw almost 130 innings in 2023. He threw 100 innings at Florida, 30 innings after he got drafted. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes, 130, 150 innings this year. They might not have, regular limits on him, but because he is an older, college guy and he's thrown a lot of innings before, but certainly something to keep in mind. But it's been impressive, and it has changed the whole trajectory for Hurston Waldrep, because again, it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people saying, hey, we got to scrap this starter thing and just see if he can be a 2-pitch pitcher as a really good reliever. And now here we are a couple of months later, and we're talking about, is he the 4th or 5th best starter when everybody's healthy in the rotation?
Absolutely. And this is the other thing about, like, it's like it's hard to give up on a guy who is very, very skilled at something specific, right? Like this splitter, 13 swings, 8 whiffs. I mean, it's an absurd amount of elite.
And in a 2-strike count, Lindsay, they know it's coming.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you know he's throwing that. It doesn't matter. I mean, he averaged 681 RPM on that pitch, which it's rare to see a splitter get that far under 1,000. Never mind 680. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm just giddy. I was a fan of this pick when it first happened. I really, really thought that this was going to work out. And I was just like you. I was really disappointed. He had an ERA of 7 when May started, 7 and change in the minors. And it's just, this is fantastic to now be here. I love it so much. Okay. And just to say, I mean, we need to mention the rest of the bullpen, right? Daisy Hernandez, Tyler Kinley, Raisel Iglesias. Iglesias, his 3rd straight day, he's pumping 98. That was, I checked in the MLB research tool. That 98-mile-an-hour fastball is the hardest four-seam fastball he's thrown of the season. And it's his 3rd consecutive outing. That's just, Raisel Iglesias is feeling it. He's pitching for a new contract. We'll see what happens. But in just a minute, let's talk about the offense. Couple questionable plays. Profar throwing out the plate. I think we want to discuss that. We'll do that next, right here on the Braves Postcast. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime-flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite with a non-alcoholic boost. It's perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game, whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day. 5-Hour Energy Transfusions deliver the clubhouse flavors you love without ever needing to leave the green. Because golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. That's a perfectly standard thing that everybody always says about golf. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament that's not the Masters in the United States. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters Tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Okay. We got to talk about the offense here. 2 runs, 8 hits. One of your runs comes off of who else? Michael Harris gets an RBI. Another one's a bases loaded walk by Nacho Alvarez. You'll take that. But Atlanta had a couple other opportunities. They went, like, it's kind of what to think about this. They went 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Harris had that only hit. But Atlanta had a notable play at home where Jurickson Profar gets thrown out trying to score from first on I think it was a double by Ozuna to left center. And I think we're on opposite sides of this. Yeah. Was it Olsen? I'm sorry, Olsen? It was Olsen, sorry. I think we're on opposite sides of this. I went back and looked at the all-22. I think this is a defensible send by Freddie Gonzalez. I would have liked to have held Profar simply because Ronald's coming up. But Profar is not but 3 steps away when the ball gets to the wall. I think the issue is it took a perfect bounce off the wall. It didn't die on the wall. It took a hard bounce right into Schneeman's hand, who got it barehanded and threw it in. Perfect throw to the cutoff or the relay man. The relay man made a perfect throw home. I don't think I would have held him, but this isn't the same category as sending Verdugo against Boston and, Tui gets him thrown out by 5 steps. I think this is defensible, although I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And I don't have the luxury of seeing the all-22 like you do. I would like to know, did Freddie see the good play off the wall before he made the send?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then I definitely don't agree with it. If he told Profar to go before he saw the play off the wall, and it's a little bit more defensible in my case, but it comes off that wall any other way, and it's not played perfectly off the wall, I'm fine with it. I want to say the word perfect again, but once you see it bounce right to the center fielder's hands, you got to hold up Profar there, especially when you consider Acuna's coming to the plate. And the one thing that I didn't even know when I first saw the play is that Profar was going on that ball, which generally would be a good thing, but he was running straight towards the base and then had to pill out. So it's not a traditional running to second, I'm going to cut the bag and go to third. If that were the case, it would have been a much more defensible play. Yeah. But I mean, once the center fielder made the perfect play off the wall, I think you had to hold him up there because it didn't even take a perfect relay to get him. I mean, it could have been a bad relay and you still would have got him pretty easily.
True. And looking at it's not great resolution. Cleveland's high home camera, I think it's a blimp. I've never seen a high home camera that is this far away from home plate. It's hard to tell, but going off of where the defender is, I do think Freddie probably should have been able to see the ricochet and hold him up. He really waited a little bit. He really waited a little bit too long to give him the send. He probably should have waited on that. So I think that's going to be the deciding factor there. Ronald getting called for runner's interference. I hate some of the rules on this. That was the correct call because unfortunately you've got to let the fielder make a play, and no matter what, you have to move. Even if you're standing on the bag and their path to catch a pop-up takes him into the bag, you have to move. And so Ronald, he's running on the grass. He kind of cuts a little bit into the dirt, makes him, move a little bit. It's the correct call. I hate it. I don't like the call. You should be able to stay in the baseline and be fine, but correct call there. Kind of frustrating. Atlanta doesn't really cash in a lot of their opportunities, but Cleveland, 2 hits. There's just not a good offense, and it worked out for Atlanta today. A lot of people in the comments want us to talk about the possibility of making the postseason. Jake, are you right now, given this hot streak the Braves have been on, are you in the position where you think that maybe there's still a chance? I mean, the division's out. You're 16 games out of a division spot. You're 14 games below 500. But in the wild card, you only have to pass 5 other teams ahead of you to get into the final wild card spot. How you feeling about that, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, as bad as the Mets have been right now, I just do not think the Braves are going to make up 10.5 games.
Without their rotation. Without their rotation.
Even with their rotation, I think that would be a little far-fetched. But, I mean, the team's playing well. even the offense tonight, I know it's only 2 runs, but you had 8 hits, you had 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. I mean, you did good things. You had good at bats, able to knock the pitcher. It was really just the base running issues, I thought. The Sydney runner home, I didn't agree with, as we talked about. Ronald, you got to blow by the guy to get past him, or you got to hold up, wait till he goes by and then runs. I think that's just, learning moment there for Ronald. And 3 caught stealings tonight too. 2 of them by Michael Harris, 1 by Nick Allen. I mean, that's 5 outs essentially you gave up on the base pass in this game. And, but outside of that, I thought the offense did a good job of getting on base, working good at bats, kind of a continuation of what we've seen. So, if that continues, then you can get Hurston Waldrep to pitch every game, and Bryce Elder continues to pitch like he is, and the bullpen been as great as it has been.
Sail back after one more rehab start on Sunday.
Yeah, Rysel pitches the 9th inning of every game the rest of the way and throws 98 every inning. And I mean, maybe you got something there.
Yeah, it's I did not see that coming. I did not see everything going as well as it did tonight, but it absolutely did. All right. Again, Braves take this one 2-0, win the series finale. I'm sorry, win the series opener. Was not expecting that. Sorry, my phone started ringing at the same time. Threw me off there. Tomorrow, Joey Wentz versus Slade Sassoni. I do think we're gonna see Drake Baldwin tomorrow. I know he's not played a ton in the last couple days. It feels like they didn't want him to start against lefties, even though he hits lefties pretty well. This is the Brian Stidker thing, right? It's if you're a lefty and there's a lefty on the thing, if they can, they're going to platoon you for a righty. Don't say I agree with it. Sean Murphy's not hitting that well right now, but I do think it was the right move to let Murphy catch the Hurston Waldrep start. Let the veteran catcher guide the young prospect through that. But either way, Jake and I will be back tomorrow to talk about that. Do us a favor. If you're listening on audio, leave a 5-star review, Apple, Spotify. Words of affirmation are always appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to both Locked On Braves and Locked On Sports Atlanta. The Falcons, I think, are still in a preseason game right this second. So they'll have all your takeaways. Jarvis will have all your stuff over there on Locked On Sports Atlanta when this game ends. It's okay. I'm glad you're here instead. None of us know these players who are in the game for the Falcons right now anyway. It's just third stringers. Nobody knows them. It's not a big deal. For Jake Mastroianni, I'm Lindsay Crosby. This has been the Braves Postcast.